I was listening to a great video yesterday, just an interview. I think it was over an hour long. And a guy said, can you imagine that 5 years ago you would have thought we'd be arguing about some facts that we all know to be unambiguous? Okay, it's going to take you 5 minutes just to sort out the question. Welcome to Leading Leaders Podcast. 5-minute videos, 5 days a week. I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast. The thing that I thought was most fascinating was that he expressed his own reality in making the statement, arguing about facts that we know to be unambiguous. Arguing about the facts that we know to be unambiguous. But I have to be honest and say, I, not only on the particular fact that he was discussing, agree with his viewpoint on it. By the way, he is a visiting professor. I don't remember the name of the university. His profession is the area of evolutionary biology. And the particular issue that he was talking about being unambiguous facts was that of gender. And he said, I can show you scientifically through all of human history, there are male and female. Some deviations, mildly male plus, female plus, but they are not the same. They are two distinct, and there really only are two. And I thought, I agree with his assessment of the facts. Obviously, he's the scientist. I am an observer. But I agree with his assessment of the facts. What was ironic, though, was that he said, did you ever think we would find ourselves in a place where we would argue about unambiguous facts? Now, here's the reality. What I want to talk to you about today are core values. In this series on core values, I will be talking about excellence, about diligence, about discipline, about trust, about compassion, about relationships. And all of these are core values that I believe are absolutely imperative. In fact, they are, in my opinion, you ready for this? You're going to have to untangle this sentence. In my opinion, these are unambiguous facts as well. That if we don't have core values in these ideas, and I will probably discuss about 20, most people have 4 or 5 in their life that these are the bedrock. Now, I've included in the text of this particular video the definition from yourdictionary.com of what a core value is. And I know that as I go through these 20, people are going to argue with some of them. I know that as I talk about the concept of core values, one of the definitions of core values is that pillar, that place, that foundational notion that things are either right or wrong. And I know some people are going to get their feathers all ruffled about that statement alone. That right and wrong are unambiguous. Well, I believe they are. I believe they are. I believe that there will be a day that we will all pay a price for everything on the column of wrong. And that there's only one way to be right on everything. But I also believe that in our daily functions, in our relationships, in the way we operate our business, and the way we lead the people around us, if we don't establish some core values, meaning these are the unambiguous facts of our life. This is how we decide right from wrong. This is how we choose. This is how we make decisions based on what I understand about relationships. Now, given the flexibility that what you know about relationships may change the minute somebody comes into your life that's different than you've ever experienced before. But if relationships are a core value, maintaining relationships are a core value, respecting people, respect is a core value, relationships are a core value. If both of those are core values in your life, you don't take advantage of people, regardless of their circumstances, regardless of their background. You don't take advantage of them because you have more power and influence than they do, and you can easily manipulate them. You don't take advantage of them because they have more money than you do, and you need to get their money. Taking advantage of people is a bad practice. It's a bad habit. Do people do it? Yes, they do. And there are some people who will stake their wealth. They will stake their claim of fortune and future their success, their own definition of success, on their ability to get one over on others. That's a negative core value. There are some people who have the philosophy that whatever it takes, I got to get mine. And I don't care if I have to take it from you. I don't even care how I have to come about getting it. If you die in the process, so be it. But somehow I'm going to get mine. I don't think that's a good core value. I think that's a reckless, dangerous core value that eventually will find yourself on the side of wrong, and there will be a huge price to pay for it. It may be prison. It may be worse. That's my philosophy. That's my foundation. I believe it's foundationally true, and that once you've established core values in your life, you can operate with unambiguous facts. Gravity doesn't check your religion card. Gravity doesn't ask about your race. Gravity doesn't ask where you went to school or how much money you have in the bank. Gravity doesn't care. Gravity is a universal law. And I believe that there are several universal laws. In fact, if you want to know some of those 7 laws, the 7 laws of the universe are very well explained in a video series on Empowered Living community page, which you can find on Facebook. Go to Empowered Living and just go to their mentorship page, and you'll find things like these 7 laws, very well explained by Paul Martinelli and Roddy Galbraith. Some incredible stuff. But when you understand what those 7 laws are and understand they are immutable, there's nothing you can do to change them. The only thing that overcomes the law of gravity is the law of lift. That's it. Nothing else. If you can't implore the law of lift, the law of gravity doesn't care. There are some other laws, like the law of gender and the law of laws regarding energy and polar opposites, and some powerful, powerful stuff. You really should take the time to study them. But when it comes to core values, these are core values that know that those laws exist and you can't do anything to change them. And so based on the knowledge of those laws, this is how I'm going to make a decision. Now, here's the most powerful thing you need to know about core values. If you will establish your core values when it's just you, or you and your core team, maybe you and your spouse, you and your executive leaders of your organization, you and the top 10 leaders of your organization, if you will hammer out these core values, they will stand the test of time in your organization. They will define the direction of your organization. They will define the direction of your life. And when tough choices come up, when hard circumstances come up, when confusing situations come up, when the moment looks like nothing you've ever lived through before, you can go back to those core values, because I promise you, if you've nailed them down well, one of those core values in your set of core values will tell you how to handle this situation you've never experienced before. If relationships are priority, ask yourself in this circumstance, how do I keep relationships a priority? If income is a priority, if that's your core value, if that's what drives you is just money, then you're going to make a decision that eventually comes out to be the best financial decision, regardless of how that impacts other people. You see where I'm going? Oh yeah, we all have blamed the big companies on, well, they're just in it for the profit. They're just in it to make more money. And if you run your business in a way that you're just in it to make more money, you're probably hurting people. You're taking advantage of someone somewhere. And if that's the case, then your core values have led you there. Let me close with this. I watched a little video this morning. I shared it on my social media regarding Shia LaBeouf. And it kind of chronicles his journey from the competitive stress and strain that he had with his dad and the challenge relationship that they had through some of his Hollywood successes and then back into failure. And the ironic thing, and I'll encourage you to watch it, but the ironic thing was that in the end, his greatest peace came from being able to go back and look at the values that his dad operated under. One of the things that he quotes more than once in the video is he said, when I got myself in trouble and I got arrested, my dad was almost joyful about it because he was already in prison. And he would say, well, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, huh, son? See, that's a core value. It's a core value that says, I'm so competitive, I can't let anybody be better than me, not even my own son. I can't allow you to have the success. I'd rather revel in your failure than revel in your success. If you have a core value that says, I want everyone to succeed, and I want to be a contributing factor to your success, then that core value will drive you to ask the question in every circumstance, in the end, how can I make this about making them better? What can I do to make their life better? Because if your core value is about relationships, about adding value to other people, every decision you make in your business, in your personal life, in your relationships will eventually lead to making other people better. So what is a core value? A core value is an established idea from which you will make every decision in your life. There are people who operate with negative core values, but I encourage you to find those positive core values that will benefit you and those around you for the rest of your life. And when the tough circumstances come up, you won't have to struggle with a decision. It will already be made for you. I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast for Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day. Subscribe now for our extensive video library of leadership lessons promoting faith, family, and freedom.